Change is good. I know you've heard that before, but I want to ruminate on that idea with you for a little bit. Think of World of Tanks 6 years ago. We upgraded the graphics since then. Change was good. We buffed up that Doom Turtle. Change is good. Matchmaker was improved. Change was good. Added a completely new soundtrack. Change was good. And we completely altered the company's approach to video content and how we do communications in Wargaming North America. Change was definitely good, and I am proud that I got to be a major part of it. Why 6 years? Well, that is how long I've been with Wargaming, more than 4 of which were spent directing video production for North America. And after 6 long years, Wargaming has decided to move video in a different direction, and this will be my goodbye video for World of Tanks and Wargaming. And it is okay, because like I said, change is good. This isn't unexpected. When our office relocated to Texas, my team was offered the opportunity to stay and make videos remotely in California so that we could keep doing what we were doing without having to move our lives. It's been almost 2 years since then, and in that time, I've had a kid, and Wargaming has afforded me the opportunity to work from home and see her grow day by day, making videos every night. I haven't slept in so long. Alas, the next chapter is upon us, and it's time we say goodbye to my team. That would be Amy, Steven, and myself. The last 6 years have been nothing short of amazing. I got to travel the world. I got to create and direct a video department from scratch. I got to make videos for you. This is the best job I've ever had. I feel pretty good about that. So how do you say goodbye to the best job you've ever had, though? A good place to start is in the videos themselves. This is a still from every video we've ever publicly released for Wargaming. In the last 4 years, my team has made more than 600 videos, which totals to about 63 hours of content. That includes Map Mondays, Tank Tuesdays, Wargaming Wednesdays, and my God, this music is too much and I think we need to dial it back a bit. But yeah, that was it. You see anything you remembered? If you go back far enough though, you will find my first outward-facing work with Wargaming wasn't the Friday update. Before that, I actually directed and starred in a few fun Halloween videos for the ship's team where I spent overnight aboard the Haunted Hornet and documented my experiences. It was fun. I was dressed up like a monkey.
Should I open this creepy door?
No.
You just backed up like crazy, dude.
Why would you do that?
Why would I open a big creepy door?
Before that, actually, back when I was in customer support at Wargaming, you might have run into my work as the subject of ire on a post on the World of Tanks subreddit, How Savory Apple Got His Name. I was going by the pseudonym Michael Ross at the time in system rename 1444, and I kind of got into it back and forth with his attempts to be naughty with his username. I won the battle, but probably not the war. I'm sure he's out there having fun with more dumb nicknames. If you're out there, thank you for helping me make it to the top post on the Reddit subreddit for World of Tanks. And no one should ever allow you near a piece of fruit. So how on earth did I get from a customer support to directing video for North America of Wargaming? How did I get to do that? Well, Roman philosopher Seneca once said, "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." So my preparation was as follows. I've only ever wanted to make movies and videos. That has always been my dream, and I have never stopped pursuing it. When I was in customer support, I began making a lot of videos that nobody was asking for. Seriously, I just started doing it and sharing them with anyone at the company who was generous with their time. And this is where opportunity comes in, because people began to request videos from me for internal use. And then that caught some eyes. And before I knew it, Wargaming created a role for me to make video in my own video department that was outward facing. That was driven by a number of amazing people. You know one of them for sure, Jake, on whose head I requested Meathead crack an egg once, because that head is definitely an egg cracking device. Little known fact, after he cracked the egg, he bled. Occupational hazard of working, crushing eggs on heads. There's also Paul Barnett. Paul Barnett, you've seen him countless times. He was my personal mentor.
You're only upset because I took away where your bags go.
Yeah, those bags are gonna sit over there.
Yeah,
now.
well, they can't sit there. The tanks need to go here. Bloody directors.
He and I iterated on a lot of videos in the beginning, a lot of ideas, until eventually we were like, okay, let's go, let's do it. And Focus Friday, the original Watt Weekly, was born.
Happy Christmas! Holidays from World of Tanks. We've just finished offering you the reindeer tanks. It was 7 of them and they were cool and great. My favorite by far was the T-28 F-30. Nick, this is a bauble.
Paul is still with Wargaming, but I want an excuse to go to his place and film him one last time.
Mike and I started the videos ages ago. We did some practices and then we just did them. And I just want to call out a couple of things. The very first one we did that I liked was talking about the free Tier 2 toy tank we were going to give people. And we called it not getting a free tank, we said it was get a free garage slot. And what we were trying to do was talk about the event the way normal tankers talk about it. And for that, we almost got fired.
Paul comes to me, he's like, we need to get someone else on camera. So he and I, we screen tested a lot of people. And one guy stood out, MeatheadMilitia. He was quite nervous to be on camera. He'd never done it before, but Paul knew that Brian was authentic and could reach the community. And I knew I could get Brian comfortable and foster an environment of trust between us and push him past his comfort zone and learn to be himself in front of a camera.
I cannot get this right now.
Dude, you're doing awesome. I think leaning into the garage slot joke is the way to go. I wouldn't steer away from that path.
Okay.
But we already have a great one in the can, so this is just extra.
Yeah. I just don't like up.
I believe in you.
Just tell them about the weekend. Finish.
This weekend, you'll be rolling around with thousands of people in a really crappy tank, which you will sell for a free garage slot. Happy holidays.
Wonderful.
Do you want to bring anything else to your desk?
No, I got it.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
The pressure on me, that immediately disappeared.
It did set the blueprint for where we were trying to go, which was talking sort of honestly and openly and in a human tone as tankers to tankers.
Be honest, to have fun, and to be creative. And they allowed me to go nuts and experiment and create shows and have fun.
Touchdown.
We started explaining how you could save money and time, which also got us a lot of flack. If you're gonna get one of our premium tanks, buy it in the tech tree. It's the most cost-effective way of getting it. Yeah, you're on camera.
Sorry. I just wanted to see if there's anything there that made sense to me. Never mind.
No, it doesn't even make any sense to me.
Wargaming asked me what I wanted, and I told them, one, I want Meathead to stay on camera for me because it's working, and two, I want a team. So that's what they gave me. Enter Amy. I've only seen her a few times, but she has been there since almost the beginning. She's an artistic genius. She edited Planet Tank. She made the meat puppet. She made the Meathead emblem that you have seen in game. But rather than speak for her, I should let her speak for herself. So let's interrupt her latest project. Amy, you in your office? Knock knock.
Hi, I'm Amy. I'm the video producer. I do a little bit of everything. I help shoot and edit the videos, I make digital assets, but my specialty is doing art, like making props and costumes. For a long time, it was just Michael and I putting together the videos, and with the intense schedule of releasing videos every day of the week, we had to do a lot of thinking on our feet. We didn't have a studio, so it forced us to be creative with random locations and stuff in the office. Finding a quiet area to film, we would just run with a theme. For Focus Friday, it was us telling Brian, sit next to this flower, do exercises in this meeting, put your head in this cauldron, wear this wig, play this ukulele like a violin, stupid stuff like that. Those dynamics organically lent itself to Michael and I making a meathead puppet. Well, Brian wanted to go on vacation and we could put someone else on screen, but people were just warming up to Brian and were enjoying, people enjoy familiarity. So I was like, let's do it. Let's go all out. So over a weekend, we busted our but it made this thing that no one asked for. Poop Worm was actually the original prototype for the Meathead puppet, but it was too small. My hand barely fit in it, so I had to start over. And then when we were shooting, Michael randomly called this creature a Poop Worm. You can see us here shooting in our garage. And then he became a recurring character. He'd appear in some chieftain videos, and he even made an appearance at an event. Speaking of events, we did a lot of traveling across America and internationally.
Following Team Eclipse, geez, that is easily one of my most favorite memories.
We purposely wanted to pick the most human tankery team we could find. And so we picked the underdogs. No one thought they were going to win. No one thought they were going to come to anything. And we thought, well, we'll get a humanist story, if nothing else. Lo and behold, they won. And then they got sent to the World Finals, so we went to follow them there.
I love this team. I love documenting them.
When they got there, well, the Russian Red Machine ground them into dust. But that's not the point. The point was that there were nice people doing tanking the way normal people tank.
We've just been focused on playing our best game that day.
We play for fun.
We had a lot of fun.
Target. Ceasefire.
It was big, it was terrible, it was a massacre.
It was big. It was terrible. It was a massacre.
Who did it?
That's not toxic.
How does it smell?
It smells like sugar. It's in my ear. Oh, watch out for that pole. And they never saw Giorgio again.
So eventually we got a studio space, which was just a storage room in the office. And then over another dedicated weekend, Michael and I built the studio. We put up walls, put down flooring. I hand painted each brick just to give them depth and make the walls look more realistic and give it a classier vibe. This was primarily used for the Facebook Live videos, but the backdrop also appears in some Chieftain Talks videos. And we also put together the green screen area, which eliminated a lot of the need for real props. And there, Steven could work all his magic. And now, Brian was Steven's puppet.
Enter Steven. I'd interviewed like 20 people for this role, and this guy was easily the most nervous. Didn't act like he belonged there. I think that's what I liked about him. So I hired him, and I'm so glad I did. But yeah, you know what? Let's head over to Steven's place and ask him for his thoughts.
All right, jackpot. Hey, Steven. Steven! Hey, good morning, Steven.
How the f did you get in my house?
We gotta film the goodbye video. I told you we were filming the goodbye video, right? Ah.
Hi, I'm Steven, and I'm the motion graphics / editor / wacky graphics guy. I got my start at Wargaming about 3 years ago. I started out just adding text to videos, but quickly established my weirdness when Michael asked me to make the Patriot Rock music video. This is the most patriotic rock music video of all time. Mount Rushmore sings, Eagles transition, there's a wicked awesome guitar solo, it's the best. Thanks to the Patriot Rock music video, I demonstrated my green screen magic abilities, and Watt Weekly then moved to a green screen show. Meathead took right to this, and then he immediately became a pain in my ass because he was like, oh, I need this graphic, and this is happening, and my background's changing, and then finger guns every single episode. And that's kind of what started our quote-unquote playful relationship where I pretty much never gave him exactly what he wanted. And then I would also like crush him or cut him in half with a lightsaber every single episode. He would call me out by name and then immediately something would happen, like a dinosaur foot would crush him or fire breathing versions of his head with bat wings would fly out and chase him around. And that's not really something you see in normal videos.
Not today, Steven.
We are a pretty small team, so I had to become a video Swiss Army knife, and Michael put a camera in my hand for the first time. This afforded me some opportunities to travel all over the place, including going to France and filming on the beaches at Dunkirk and going to Tank Fest, all the Let's Battle tours, including going to D-Day, Ohio, where I stormed the beaches in my World War II attire with my camera and filmed all day until my feet literally bled through my boots.
I also was there at D-Day Conneaut, reenacting the storming of the beaches at Normandy alongside Steven, getting footage from the ground. And like Mulan, I pretended to be a male soldier just to get in. There's even an article written just about me in the local press, which is still Michael's desktop background.
At this point in time, we were busier than we had ever been. My team was tasked with creating 11 Dunkirk documentaries with me as the host of all of them. Wasn't my idea, and I think I might have said no if I knew that it would mean living and breathing tanks and ships and planes for 3 months straight. We did a massive production road trip filming in England, France, Belgium, and right after that, I did an all-night road trip from Gen Con in Indianapolis, Indiana to the Let's Battle tour in Conneaut, Ohio with Meathead Jake and the general manager, Jay. We were flying regularly all over the place, and there was even one entire month where Amy and myself were never at home. It felt impossible that things could get crazier, and then the office closed. We had the option of moving to Austin, Texas to resume our work. For a myriad of reasons, we couldn't go. We thought this was the end, and then Wargaming generously suggested, hey, let's keep this relationship going. Why don't you work remotely from California? And so we did. And now filming took place at home. Because we were on green screen, there was no way of knowing when the transition happened in the show, but we knew. And as you know, at some point in time, it was time for another change. Meathead left. That was sad, but he needed change, and change is good. I respected it. I knew we needed something new. But when he left, it put us in a predicament because video teams here in California, everyone else is in Texas, and it's like, well, we could let the show die, or I could take over. My manager asked me if I would host the show, and I said I would.
I'm Michael Lovan, and I know you're already asking yourself, where the is the other guy?
And in the beginning, it was pretty hard. I was very nervous, and I knew I had to get over it. It was important to me to keep the communications going for North America, and I didn't want to interrupt the continuity of format. And Steven did a great job with what he was given, but I didn't like interacting with the green screen. It felt like we had really figured out how to use it with Meathead, but that worked for him. It didn't feel right for me. And then one day I realized, hey, why green screen at all? I'm at home, why not just shoot the episode in my natural environment? And thus, the show was, once again, reborn.
And
Steven!
So shooting out of our home, we had to, or more like got to, go back to our roots of making do with what we had and letting our surroundings guide the themes of the show.
Clumsy little guy. Let's just try that again.
I got to contribute my creativity as well, putting Michael in horrifying clown makeup, putting our baby in a homemade Oompa Loompa outfit, making a nightcap for Michael out of a pillowcase, slapping together this uncomfortable Dolan hat, which I'm not proud of.
And I loved it, and it is in this latest era, one that I've truly become proud of, that we are now going to say goodbye. Good luck. Have fun. See you next time.
Michael, let me out of here. Michael.
211 weeks later, we are bringing down the curtain on what was a great experiment, a glorious success, a way of talking to everyone.
This has been a wild ride, and I met some great people and animated some things that made people question my sanity.
I had a lot of fun during my time at Wargaming. I'm sad that it's coming to an end, but I'm grateful for all the experiences and opportunities it afforded me. And I'm grateful for the community that kept it all going. Thanks for letting us be weird.
Thank you, everyone. You are what keep me going and what keeps me being weird in the videos. I appreciate it, and it's been a pleasure.
And gotcha! Welcome to Walt Weekly, your one-stop shop for all things World of Tanks PC. There's so many moments and so many memories. There's a lifetime of joy in these clips, in the bloopers, in the outtakes, in the memories of staying up all night to get that next video done. I could have stayed at Wargaming forever making these videos, but like I said, change is good. I look at these videos and it's not just World of Tanks that's changed. I've changed. I learned how to grow. I learned how to push myself. I learned how to believe in myself. I was once terrified to be in front of a camera. Now I leave Wargaming having hosted my own Frankenstein creation for 14 months. I can't think of a better or more appropriate way to leave. I've had the time of my life. I got to hang out of airplanes. I got to hang out of golf carts. I got to hang out of tanks and almost fall off.
Yeah, hold on, keep holding. You almost.
And most importantly, I have 4 years of AMX40 duck jokes, of which I am immensely proud. Always remember to flock to the hills. You'll get a nice speed boost when you flutter down the hill. And compared to everyone else, the duck is, yes, the most OP tank in the history of the video game medium. Perfect. As for the change that comes next for you, for video production at Wargaming, for myself, I don't know. But I know I trust my colleagues to do what's best for this community, and I trust myself to find another adventure worth having. Thank you to my colleagues in the Austin office, and thank you to the people who have since departed Wargaming in pursuit of other journeys. Most importantly, though, thank you for watching. Thank you for tuning in for the past 4 years and 16 days since the release of my very first video. Thank you for being a wonderful community. Take the bow tie off because the show's almost over, right? Thank you for everything. I read the comments, each and every one. You have provided endless entertainment, and you've pushed me to be courageous and do my best work, and keep pushing myself. Thank you for being here. Thank you for joining me on this journey. I had a great time. I hope you did too. So long. Farewell.